Hi, I'm Brent, and I'm setting up and testing and shipping today a 3-axis driver board for BlaiseMibeck. Blaise, I have your name on the bag here, and I've also put your initials on the heatsink here so you'll know it's your board. I have your board hooked up to 3 of my 2.4 amp motors, and I have it hooked up to my 24 volt power supply, which is underneath here, and that power supply comes here to this 2-terminal connector here on the board. And the critical thing on that is that you get the positive to the outside and the minus to the inside as indicated on the board down here. If you get that backwards, even for 1 second, you'll kill the entire board. And no more than 36 volts on this terminal. And here's your input cable. It goes to my Mach 3 computer. And here's a relay control that's controlled, I think, by pin 9 on this board. Possibly pin 2. I'd have to look at the docks. If you start a motor, this is for starting out like a spindle motor or a vacuum pump or a coolant pump or things like that. But I found with these, they're rated at 10 amps, but I doubt that they're even 5 amps. If you start them 3 or 4 times with a 2.5 amp motor, you'll kill it. And so what I've done, I got a sale on a kit with a 25 amp solid state relay. You can take a look at it. It's eBay item number here. And also motor tuning, which I don't include in this video, but I have that two video set on one disc at this eBay number. But so I've got your board hooked to my Mach 3 computer, and I'm going to send you this video on a CD, but there will be a lot of other things on that CD. There will be a driver configuration file which I've created called TB65, well, it's called 3-axis TB6560.xml, and it makes the setup on this board easy. I've done it for you. If you drag and drop that file into your Mach folder, and if you don't know how to do that, there's a video on here telling you how to do that also. Then once that folder is in the Mach file, you will not need to run Mach 3 mil. Then you will run Mach 3 loader, and you will select that TB6560 file and open it, and it will open Mach 3 mil with all the proper configuration that you need to run this board, except for motor tuning, and that's what those other 2 videos on that list I just showed you are. But if you wanted to set this up manually, you could run Mach 3 mil and go here to config and select ports and pins. Then this menu would come up, you'd select motor outputs, and you'd have to check all 3-axis enabled. And from the manual, you'd have to put the following pins in. For X step, you'd have to put pin 1 and X direction, pin 7. Y step is 8 and direction is 3. Z step is 5 and direction is 4. Also, you'd have to go to the Output Signals tab and enable 3 enables, and these are called Empower in the manual. Enable 1 is X, and the Empower pin from the manual is pin 14. For Y it's 2, and for Z it's 6. Once you accept that configuration and then hit reset, then if you hit the tab key on your keyboard, it will bring up the motor run pendant, and you can run your motors by holding these arrows for X, Y, and Z forward and backwards. I'm going to do that right now. Here your board, I'm running X in one direction, X in the other direction, Y in one direction, Y in the other direction, and Z in one direction, and Z in the other direction. So this board works beautifully. If you set it up like this and it doesn't work, then there's a couple of things to suspect. One is your print port in your computer BIOS needs to be set to LPT1 and bidirectional. 2, I've had a lot of people who've used bad cables here, used cables or the wrong cables, so make sure that cable's good. Or 3, maybe your motor hookup is not proper, and I've included free on this disc along with Mach 3 and Mach 3 manual and the full manual on this driver board. I've included in there my Getting Started Easy with Mach 3 Video 1, which shows you how to hook up 4, 6, and 8 wire motors to drivers like this. So you might want to look at that, get your motors hooked up to this board properly. So this board works beautifully. I'll be shipping it to you today, and thank you very much for the order. Bye.